Okay, hello everybody, welcome to TìandTarot, or welcome back to TìandTarot if you've been here before. So today's reading is all about what's going to be happening for you in the next quarter of this year. So of course we've had Jan, Feb, March, now we're heading into April, May, June. So essentially we're asking about those months. So for April, May and June, what's going to be happening for you? Anything exciting, anything you need to know coming your way, anything you're curious about, you can bring those questions in your mind today and we'll try and work through those once you pick your pile. So we've got 3 piles for you to choose from today, pile 1, 2 and 3. And instead of picking with crystals, we're picking with bunny tails. So for pile 1, we have this pink, like baby pink bunny tail. We also have a card that says, think of a song that brings you joy. For pile 2, we have this like purpley magenta bunny tail. And we have a card that says, your home is your safe space. And then for pile 3, we have a lavender violet kind of bunny tail. And your card says, grace is a great gratitude practice. So those are the piles for you to choose from today. Once you have picked your pile, there will be a timestamp in the description box below for you to find your reading more easily, and I will meet you there. If you like to pick your pile in any other way, based on the number of the pile, the number in the timestamps, based on the energy of the pile, or based on the zodiac signs in the description box below, you are welcome to pick that way. And if you're drawn to more than one pile, you can of course watch more than one pile, because it may mean that there's more than one message for you in today's reading. So that being said, I'll meet you there. Bye. Okay, hello my pile ones, welcome to your reading. So you chose a real cute pink bunny tail, which we're going to place over here. And you have a bunch of oracle cards, so we're going to get into those now. So, first of all, we have think of a song that brings you joy. Sound is a powerful way to connect with your emotional well-being. Interesting. So your emotions are going to be a big part of the next 3 months. Your emotional well-being, how you're feeling, that sort of thing. We've got approach your day with fresh eyes. It is a wonderful day. I've never seen it before. So every day is going to be a brand new experience for you in the upcoming months. Every day is going to be different, feel different, and bring with it new challenges, new opportunities, new whimsy. Every single day is going to be mixed up for you a bit. Then we've got media. So there's something to do with the media this quarter, for the second quarter of the year. It could be that people are seeing you, you're seeing them. Maybe there's lots of social media stalking. It could even be the news you're receiving on the media as well. Is quite impactful, and I love that there's a crescent moon there, because crescent moons are about actually it's a symbol of women and children being protected. That's often what it's used for. So the fact that we've got that on the TV, maybe there's some good news in that area that's being delivered. Then we also have justification as well. Maybe there's a bit of clarity this month, some sort of understanding. I might, will I? No, I was going to overlap them because there's like barely any room on the table, but I won't. We have looking you up. Okay, maybe this is why we have media. Researching you, studying you, getting info. I heard that people are like, why do tarot readers touch all the cards all the time? It's because it's so annoying when they get like out of sync. Obsessive lover, dangerous, toxic, unhealthy possessiveness, and karmic. Okay. Interesting. Then we also have the enchanter. Deception and trickery. Then we also have the brawler, a lack of empathy and confrontation. We have impasse. Then we also have nothing. Okay, this is just my initial interpretation. Obviously, we're going to pull some tarot cards as well. But for now, what I'm seeing is that when we're sort of seeing like approach the day with fresh eyes, look at things from a new perspective, I think there's something you're unsure of, something you don't know how to get past, some sort of difficulty. And it may have something to do with an obsessive lover, someone who's toxic or unhealthy for you. And it almost feels like they're so obsessed with you, or so involved in your life and trying to get hold of you, that it almost feels like beyond your control. You're almost trapped and you can't get through and can't get out and can't see a way out. And it makes this encounter feel really stressful. It makes life feel really overwhelming. It's almost like you've been tricked into like a room that locks from the outside and you're trying to find your way out and you can't. Like, it feels like very oppressive in a sense. It feels like no matter what you do, you can't seem to escape their sight on you, and because there's lots of eyes. It's almost like they have inserted themselves into your life and it's hard to get rid of them. That's what it feels like. And so there's these big emotions of like, every day feels overwhelming in a sense, or every day there's something new, or every day there's some sort of drama, and it feels like you've been pulled into a fight that you had no control over being in. You now have this battle ahead of you, this quest, this challenge, that if you had been aware beforehand, you wouldn't have gotten this far. You would have pulled away, but there was no way of you knowing that this would be your future. And so rest assured there is good news, because obviously we've got the media with the crescent moon, so there is protection for you and there is eventual escape as well. And you sharing that accomplishment with others. And the reason for this is because you approach the day with fresh eyes. You're approaching the day with a new perspective on, okay, this is my situation, how can I get around it? And every day it's almost like you become really creative and adaptable to the challenges that you face. So yes, it can feel emotionally tumultuous, but at the same time, I feel like there's an equal balance of high and lows, because there are definitely moments where ultimately you are getting further and further away from this person. You're working your way slowly and more gradually, day by day, little by little. With each single step you take, you're making your way through these brambles. You are getting through. It feels long, like it feels like a tough road. It almost feels like if like in your dream you're being chased by something and it's like you're stuck in quicksand and you can't like move as fast as you want to, but you are creating distance between you and this thing. Even if it doesn't feel like it, even if it feels like you need to be going quicker, you are creating distance with you and this thing. You're putting more and more space between you, especially emotionally. You're like tied to them, you're breaking it. Day by day, little by little, you're fighting against it. You're fighting against this spell or this illusion that this is a good thing for you, or that this is love, or that this is passion, when actually you're realizing it's just toxic. So even though it kind of feels like you don't know what to do, day by day you are navigating this situation really well. And I love that you have the nothing card here, because it's almost like you get these ideas that you might think are like, oh, that's stupid, how's that going to help me? But actually, just act on it and just try it, because it can definitely help. And when you act on it, you continue to encourage your brain to continue to think of these creative ways of getting out of this situation. And with the impasse, day by day, you are getting out of it. But there's also a strong element of, I think a friend or a family member is going to help you. I think there is someone around you who is going to be a massive, loyal, supportive person to you in the next quarter, who's really going to help you with this situation. Really, expose a light on the situation, protect you, help you out, and support you in the ways that you ask to be supported through this situation. And they help you get out. And I think that's lovely. It's like you've got someone on the other side of those brambles also sort of pulling away at them and breaking down the barrier, and you're on the other side doing the same thing. So they're helping you out massively. And it could be a case of, as well, this person, whoever they are creating issues for you, might seem very charismatic or believable to others, and it might be that a loyal friend or family member of yours is actually helping to prove that not to be true to others. They're almost like an impartial or third party voice that's able to shed light on this situation and remove some of the bias others have towards this person. So I do see you resolving this. So that's what's happening in this next quarter, is that this tough time, this person who seems to be all around you and sort of enchanting you and seems to have an emotional hold over you, you're pulling away further and further, day by day, little by little, from this person. And by the end of the quarter, they're going to mean nothing to you. They're going to be nothing in your life. They won't be around anymore. They won't be bothering you. You will have escaped. So it's it's a long road, but it's one that you can definitely handle and you're capable of handling, and you've got so much inner strength and inner wisdom to be able to work out this situation. Yes, they may have love bombed you, pulled the wool over your eyes and sort of made you feel like this was love, but you've got the clarity, and you will gain the clarity and the insight that you need to see this situation for what it is. And then that helps you pull away from it, to break the illusion and break the spell. It's like, instead of listening to love songs when you think of this person, instead you're listening to like empowering, like takedown songs that make you see this person for what they are, which is an obstacle, a thorn in your side, not something to spend the rest of your life with, but something to try and escape. So I can see you taking action on that. It feels like dark and heavy, but at the same time there's such a positive light to it, because you're proving to yourself that how strong and capable you are, because you can get out of this situation and you can navigate it. So it feels also like a victory. It's kind of like if you were the knight trying to save the princess and you slayed the dragon. Like, it feels scary, it feels intimidating, but at the end of the day you slay the dragon, and that feels really accomplishing and rewarding. 10 of Wands, yeah. I don't want to start analysing, but I do feel like you are trying to take as much as you can from this situation and leave. And also it's a case of like, you're recognising this person's shit it's not gifts, it's burden, it's weight. And you're trying to move away from that. You're starting to recognise that and open your eyes up to that as well. Okay, so we've got the 7 of Wands in reverse. We also have the Hermit in reverse. I think you're working on defending yourself. We have the Lovers, and we also have the Chariot. Yeah. I think it's happening, guys. The cards are moving and it's pissing me off. I think you are definitely in a situation where you've had some sort of like, it's moved too fast, too quickly kind of love bomby relationship, and it kind of made you lose yourself a little bit and retreat and not really fight against this enchantment, this spell that they've put on you. But now you're waking up and you're walking out of that space and that zone, and you're looking for a way out. You're looking for solutions, and you're putting a lot of work in to accomplish that as well. I think you were defenseless initially because of course you thought this was a good connection, so your guard was down, you were positive, accepting this in. You were almost seeing it as like a, you need to be more open kind of thing, when that wasn't really the case. It's more like they need to prove to you that they deserve for you to be open. And it's almost like now you're getting your back up, you are defending yourself, and you're finally saying enough is enough. You're seeing them for what they are with all these burdens that they're giving you. You're looking for a way out, and you're putting a lot of effort into that. But you're doing it in a really interesting way. It's not like a physical battle. It's definitely an emotional one. But you're thinking and feeling your way out of this situation. It could be that they have a strong emotional hold on you, like you keep coming back or something like that. And you're finally starting to break that illusion down and realising you don't want to go back, and you're working on that. You've definitely got friends and family, someone around you or people around you supporting you and helping you work through this situation. Basically helping to, like, they might be gathering around and being like, okay, this was the first red flag. This was the second one. This was the third one. Do you need me to keep going? Like, they might be helping to sort of like break the illusion down. With the Magician, it's really, really good because you've got everything you need to walk away from this person. It might feel like you're under their spell, that it's hard, that you've been in this sort of lull for too long, but actually you've got everything you need to get out of this situation. You're a very smart, strong, creative person who can see a solution around this. And ultimately you do walk away from what no longer serves you. That's the ending that I keep saying that I'm seeing for you. That's the ending that I keep seeing. With all the lightning, the storm, the dropped swords, and you're walking away with your what you have left, your last 2 swords, and you're leaving this situation behind. I definitely see you walking away from this because it doesn't serve you anymore, or potentially it never served you, but now you're seeing it. You're seeing it for what it is. So that is really impressive, and you should definitely be proud of yourself, pile 1, because you are walking away from what doesn't work for you anymore, from what was a burden to you, what was not good for you. which is really lovely to see. It's lovely to see that you're putting yourself first as well. And I love that with this Lovers card, you get that juxtaposition of potentially two people being together, thinking this is a great relationship, but expecting different things out of it. So one person thinks they're going to be nourished and that's what they're wanting and that's what they're offering. And the other person is offering, you know, passion, fire, excitement, but no nourishment, no peace, no safety, no security. Okay, really interesting. So very much a strong, like, there's a relationship coming to an end for sure. So there's been a strong focus on that. So let's see if there's anything else you need to know for this month, not necessarily relating to this situation. Okay, we have the Fool. So you're definitely embarking on something new as well for this quarter. Sorry, I said month. For this quarter, you're embarking on something new. There's new adventures, new horizons for you. You're leaving something behind and walking into a new and exciting future. There's definitely strong protection around you, but you had the dog, you had the crescent moon, so there's definitely a lot of protection. Hey, she's got like a light pink flower and you picked the light pink flower as well. So it's almost like you're following a new interest or a new passion or a new hope. It's almost like you feel freer and you're walking towards things with an open optimism now. You feel like refreshed. You're definitely being encouraged not to take what you have in your life for granted, especially when it comes to these friends or this family that is supporting you and helping you out. There are things in your life that potentially, when you look at them, it will make you feel more grateful for what you have. Of course, there are always going to be things that, you know, in our lives where we're not grateful and we're like, why the fuck is this happening? But the more you dwell on it, the worse you kind of feel. Whereas if you are able to pause and pull away and look at the things you're grateful for, it can actually make you feel better. It is a kind of fake it till you make it, because you are essentially trying to shift your perspective so that instead of focusing and dwelling on the negative, you're focusing and dwelling on the positive, which hopefully changes things. Because like the other day, for example, I realised like everything that happens right now in this moment, it's already in the past, because that's how quick time goes, you know. But everything in the past that is good, I'm always like really sad that it's over. And anything in the past that was horrendous, I'm always ruminating and thinking on it and being like, yep, and that will stay with me forever. And I'm like, so why will that stay with me forever? But all those good times, I'm like, I can barely remember it. It's a distant memory. Like, and I'm all sad and mopey about it. Like, in that sense, I'm choosing to focus on the shit that's gonna weigh me down. So there's this kind of reminder of like, focus this month on what picks you back up, especially with the music as well. Music can have such an influence on how you feel. The types of music you listen to can completely change your mood. Listen, I'm not judging you because I do the same thing, but if you're playing that like that mopey sad music, obviously you're gonna feel sad. But if you're playing like upbeat tunes, it can pick up your spirits. So it, you know, play the music and think of the thoughts and focus on the things you're grateful for that are going to uplift you this month or this quarter, rather than focusing on the things that weigh you down or make you sad. Focus on what brings you joy, uplifts you. Focus on the future and all the possibilities and the things you could do and the things that could be next for you, rather than anticipating the worst, if that makes sense. Yeah, and stop getting into relationships for now, I think. I think this is a sign to focus on yourself, not any sort of other romantic relationships. Especially, there's a focus on friends and family, there's a focus on you. I think this quarter you'll be focusing on yourself, prioritizing your emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, your strength against challenges and high tides. That's your focus for the next quarter, is settling that storm within you that makes you feel like shit. So what you're working on in the next quarter is definitely this new adventure, new positivity, trying something new, trying to listen to different music than usual, focus on different things, trying to build your emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, building your awareness of what you can be grateful for in your life, pulling away from attachments that are toxic for you or unhealthy, focusing on friendship and family, and focusing on recognizing what is a burden to you and separating yourself from it, separating that tie, severing it. Any last messages? You are the leader and the boss of yourself this quarter, okay? You run the roost. You've definitely, with the Magician, got all the power in your hands. It's just a case of seeing it, of changing your perspective, opening your eyes to it, and recognizing you run this shit. Like, you can control how much you enjoy this quarter and how well it goes for you, based on the decisions you make, based on how you hold yourself, based on what you do, based on how you're thinking about things, the actions you're taking. You have the power to do that. And I also think you, this month, not only are you sort of being the boss of your own life, claiming back the driver's seat, but I think you're also being a really great confidant equally to your friends and family around you who are also helping you. I think you help them back. So that is your reading pile 1. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you were drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Tuesdays or Thursdays for another tarot reading or tarot related video on TìandTarot. Bye. Okay, hello my pile 2s, welcome to your reading. So you chose this magenta bunny tail, which I'll place over here. And you've got lots of oracle cards, so we're going to get into all of those. So we have your home is your safe place. Your home is a place to rest, restore, nourish, cleanse, live, laugh and grow. Live, laugh, love. Okay, I love that. Help someone less fortunate. Think about how grateful someone might be to receive your donation. Interesting. Why? That feels like it's transactional, because they're like, oh, well, think about how grateful they'll be and what they might do back, kind of thing. It feels like if you might do something this month, you get a return back on it, if that makes sense, like something good. We have synchronicity. We have multiple numbers. Okay. So there's something about watch out for like symbols, synchronicities, numbers, indications that you're like on the right path, kind of thing. Jackpot, winning money, got rich, inheritance, unexpected money. Love that for you. We also have rejected. Ooh, I wonder what you're being rejected from. Oh, I wonder if you're doing the rejecting. I don't know. Then we have the adventurer, responsibility and expectations. Then we have the pathless, difficult decisions, lack of direction. Oh, this one doesn't have a name. Let me look in the book. Does it have a name in the book? Okay, yes it does. In the book, this is called Being. So it's about destiny, about being active, its vibration, consciousness, reality. Essentially destiny. Uncoiling towards the activating light, the historical flux of becoming is the great power of being. And then your last card is Daemon. Interesting. No judgment. I'm gonna check that one out too, because we don't know what it could be yet. Interesting. It's like a mix of obsessiveness, selfishness, creativity, accomplishment, those sorts of things. There's like almost like a push and a pull of like something that is making you almost be the worst version of yourself, but equally it helps to propel you forward. Because I hate the idea that there's like, we have a set of emotions that we all have, or most of us have capacity to access, but some of them are like seen as like good emotions and some are seen as bad, when that's not the case. They're all good emotions. It depends how you wield them, and sometimes an occasion calls for you to wield it, and that's not a bad thing, that's a good thing. It's self-protection. So for example, like if you feel jealousy, obviously it would be wrong of you to then take that out on the person you're jealous of, but it's good to feel it though, because it shows something you want to yourself that maybe you didn't know you wanted before. And equally, let's say that the desire to defend yourself from somebody, people say acting on that is bad. Technically it's wrong. However, if you're in a life or death situation, protecting yourself is something good, because it helps to keep you safe, and it was self-defense kind of thing. So there are times where it's good to yield those emotions, and either way, feeling and having access to all of them is a good thing. It's a part of your being, it's a part of who you are, and I think you'll learn that as you go through life, and these feelings come up and you realise you have to use them. But you seem to be in a place of duality. What I'm seeing for you is essentially, you've got this home that is your safe space, but the doors are wide open. There's this river coming in, flowing in and out. It's almost like you have an open door generosity policy, helping others who are less fortunate. I'll support you. You have a lot to give, and you feel a sense of responsibility, or like you're the chosen one because you have so much to give that you should be giving it. But equally, that exposes you to being vulnerable, to being the less fortunate, because people can take advantage of that. If they see that kind of open, pure of heartedness, for whatever fucking reason, people do like to take advantage of that. If you offered someone a suitcase of money and said, but only take a $5 because if everyone takes a $5 each, it will be equal, there are going to be some people who try and take the whole case because they don't give a shit about helping others and being good and doing the right thing, sort of thing. Again, they're acting on their emotion that they're feeling, that greed, which ultimately is not a bad feeling, but they're using it wrong. They're using it to justify a wrongdoing to somebody else. So there's this sense of you're learning this balancing act in the next quarter. You're figuring it out and you're coming face to face with it, where you're realizing some of those emotions that you may have dismissed as bad or deemed as bad are sometimes really necessary, especially in order to make the right decision. Sometimes you have to close that door on someone. You can't always be helpful to the less fortunate, especially if they are going to act towards you in a way that is harmful to you. And so what I'm seeing is you seem to have something others want. You seem to have a lot of something with jackpot. It could be money, but either way, you've got a lot of resources that people want. You may be coming into this resource in the next quarter. It may not be something you have now, but once people hear you have it, they act on it. Like, for example, so random, but like a couple months ago, I won like 100 quid on the lotto, which isn't a lot, but it's nice to have, you know, it helped me buy everyone's Christmas gifts that year, so because this was in December, and I don't know why, but the shopkeeper like made a big deal out of it when I went to go like collect, and he was like, he looked at the ticket and then he looked back up at me and he was like, do you have any idea how much money you've won? As if it was like crazy. And this guy behind me was immediately like, how much money did she win? What does she have? And I was like, relax, like, first of all, I don't know you, but he's expecting, because of the way this guy said it, he was expecting it to be like a lot of money, and it was obvious he was going to try and like act on that, or was trying to like insert himself so that he could maybe get some of it, if that makes sense. And I was like, no, like it's fine, relax, like it's literally nothing. And he was like basically very opportunistic. He wanted to have a chit chat, he wanted to kind of like hover around, but when he found out that it wasn't that much from like the shopkeeper, he was like, okay, cool, and kind of relax. But it goes to show there are always people around you who are ready to like pounce and take. It's almost like with this golden hand, it's like you offer something and all of a sudden 100 hands are reaching in, yeah, gimme, I want that, like, but you were offering it to one person, like, you know, okay, it's like this, you know when you got a pack of gum and like you're chewing one and one of your friends is like, can I have some? And you take it out, you go, sure, here's one. And everyone fucking swarms and they're like, oh my god, can I have one? Like, this has happened to me. I've never finished my pack of gum, okay? Because everyone always wants a piece. And by the end of it, you've got like one left. Like, it's like that. Like, if you try and open the door and be generous to either someone in particular or just in general, what can happen is that you've got 100 people bursting through that door, breaking the door frames. You've got 100 hands reaching into yours, 100 hands going into your pockets, trying to get what you have, because you're offering it without a cap or without boundaries. And so I think what you're realizing is that this month you may have to put a stop to things. You may have to put your foot down and say, like, no, and say, you've taken it too far. You've exploited my generosity too much. I have to call it here. The thing is, people, and I think you're going to find this in the next quarter, people tend to not take it so fucking well when you pull back on something you were previously giving them that they were benefiting from. Even if you explain it's nothing to do with them, it's for you, it's to make sure you're in a safe, good space, they don't like the fact that they no longer have access to this plentiful resource. And so what you'll find is a lot of pushback, a lot of people making you feel like you are the one who is supposed to be responsible for them, supposed to be giving them this resource, that this is what's expected of you and you're not delivering it. And so it kind of creates this difficulty, in a sense, within you. Because it's hard for you to say no, because you are a generous, kind, giving person. It's who you want to be, and it's a shame that other people's greediness kind of interferes with that. But you're coming to some sort of realization this month. You're learning quite a hard lesson, which is of course putting your foot down, but grappling with the guilt that people can give you when you're no longer giving them something that they were never entitled to in the first place, never owed. You were doing it to be generous and kind, but again, they make it feel like it's an expectation of yours. So this gives you a difficult choice, difficult decisions, to be generous or to not be, to have to put your foot down or to keep that door open at your own expense. And it's almost like, in a sense, you feel a little bit chained to continuously being generous and never being able to close that door because people are demanding and people are greedy. And it's kind of all consuming, and you're trying to cling on to what you have left and what you can give and the person you are. But at the same time, people make that hard to do. And so I think you're coming to some sort of difficult decision of, it's either self-preservation or self-abandonment. Which am I going to pick? And it doesn't mean you can't be generous, but maybe it's a case of you're generous occasionally. There are boundaries with it that are set in place. So it's, instead of it being like, I have an open door policy, anyone can stay with me whenever they're going through a difficult time. Instead, it could be, you could stay with me for 1 to 2 weeks until you get back on your feet. There's a firmer, clearer boundary. Like, it's things like that, like just changing the way that you're being generous so that way you're not constantly exploited. Because at the minute it feels like you're chained to being someone who is ever giving, and it feels like you are responsible for these people in that sense, because you are being the person they depend on, they rely on, that they're not even taking care of themselves at this point because they think you'll always be there. So you're having to put your foot down. And it could even be a case of you're being generous in terms of teaching them how to accomplish what you've accomplished rather than just giving it to them. You know, it's like the teach a man to fish versus like give a man a fish for a day kind of thing. So it's you're teaching them so that they can sustain themselves rather than they constantly come back to you asking for more and more and more. But I think you're recognizing you've got two sort of pathways or channels of emotions and ways of being and feeling within you. And some of those feelings you've exiled. Some you glorify, like, you know, you glorify your generosity, you glorify you being kind and open, but then you've exiled this firmer part of yourself that sets boundaries, that's there to protect you. It's not there to be mean to anyone, it's there to protect you and keep you safe. You've almost exiled that part of yourself, and there's definitely a calling this month to bring that side of you back in, to bring that side forward, because you're such a shining light in the darkness. People are going to try and pull you into it to keep themselves afloat and to keep the world bright around them. And that's not fair to you at all. So there's definitely a sense of balance, give and take, and making sure you're not being exploited in your attempt to help others. There's definitely a sense of luck as well this month. Luck and risk. There's risk taking and there's reward as well. There's putting yourself out there and getting something back. There might be something you're taking a risk on, you're putting yourself out there for, and it may or may not pay off, but it's giving the vibe of lucky. So it is giving that it might pay off. But there's something as well that you're doing in this next quarter that is... By the way, if I keep saying in the next month, I mean the next quarter, but I just keep saying that for some reason. But there's something you're doing in the next quarter that is going to be paying off. Let me ask what that is. Where it's a little bit risky, but you do it anyway. This isn't entirely clear, so I'll ask again, but it might be something about making a decision on something that you find it difficult to make a decision on because you don't know the outcome. You're not sure what will come of it, and so you feel blind to making that decision. But whatever decision you make does pay off. The decision you're making, the thing you're taking a risk on or a gamble on, is trusting yourself. Because I think that's not something you often do. I think you might defer to others when it comes to decision making. You might look to others for validation that your decision is the right one, when you don't need to do that. You can make your own decisions. No one else needs to tell you that you're right or you're wrong. They can have their opinion and that's great, but it doesn't change the truth of whether or not it's right or wrong. And to be honest, the truth may never come. You may never know if the decisions you make were right or wrong. All you know is that feeling within you, that intuition, that gut feeling that tells you this is what's right for me in this moment. And all you can do is follow that. you may never know if it was the right or wrong thing, because all we can go off of is logic and feeling, and that differs from person to person. So you may never get that validation, but ultimately you know what feels right. So trust your gut and follow that. That's what you're taking a risk on, because it's not something you often do. You're not often tapped into that inner intuition of yours. Okay, so I pulled a bunch of cards while I was chit-chatting with someone. So we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. The thing with the Ace of Cups is, what I'm seeing is that, again, you're showing yourself compassion, love and compassion this month by reintegrating those exiled parts of yourself, by bringing them back to the forefront to protect you. You're showing yourself love again. You're opening that door and starting to develop that path, because I think it's one that's been neglected for a while, especially with being here. They're holding this shell, the shell of being, the shell of your life and every sort of phase you've ever been in, which are all these notches. They're just holding it above water. It's like they're barely staying afloat. They barely made it. They've barely held on to their being, who they are, their destiny, because there's been a lot of self-abandonment. And so it's like you're pulling yourself back in. You're finally prioritizing yourself in this next quarter, which is lovely to see. I can see that you're going to be trying lots of new things, probably to show that self-love, because there might have been a lot of things you've neglected to follow, a lot of interests, passions, hobbies that you've put to the side under the guise of like, oh, well, I'm responsible for others, or I've got a lot of things that I'm expected to do, so I'll do those. You've allowed these like almost like creative hobbies and passions to fall to the wayside. I can see you picking them back up in this quarter. I can see you trying them. I can see you juggling a lot, but not in an overwhelming way, in a way that feels good. But of course, I think this is something that takes active practice to stay focused on, because there is a chance it might fall to the wayside again if you fall back into the responsibilities, expectation kind of mindset when it comes to others, when actually you're not responsible for anybody else. You know, you're responsible for you. It's up to them to figure shit out. It's nice of you to be generous. It's nice of you to help them out, you know. And I do think it's a lovely thing to do. But ultimately, if it's not being received well, what you're getting back from that is more take and more exploitation, then it's a case of take that energy and put it back into you. And so that's what you're doing, but it would be good to try and like maintain that as well. We have the Ace of Swords as well. I think you're finding something out about yourself, because we've got Being, then we had Damon, which is about all versions of yourself, all sides of you, and the things that make you tick, the things that drive you, the things that interest you, actually revealing things about you. And sometimes you being drawn to darker parts of yourself, darker feelings, is actually you getting back into touch with who you are. It says something about you, and I think you're learning something about yourself in this quarter as well. You're wanting more from this life. I think there's been a lot placed on you, a lot of weight, and you're wanting more. You want something else. And you actually have everything you need, all the resources you need to give yourself that life or the thing you're looking for. It's more so about perspective shift, because obviously she's not looking at the 2 cups she has. She's not looking at this cup over here. It's about perspective shift, because instead of focusing on you, you've been focusing on other people. Now it's time to focus on you. Maybe even focusing on love as well with the 2 cups. There might be a sense of healing and relationships as well. Or finding healing in a relationship that might be coming your way in the next quarter. We also have the 7 of Wands in reverse as well, along with the 9 of Wands. Definitely standing your ground and figuring your way forward. Like, working your way forward, moving forward. Because I think it's a case of... and the Knight of Swords. Essentially needing to defend yourself against greedy people who want more and more and more from you. And so I definitely see you defending yourself, standing your ground, persevering, putting the work in, and then sort of, in a sense, kind of feeling untouchable. Like, because you've put yourself into such a good position that you're like, that's right, I am who I am, because it paid off for you to kind of defend yourself and protect yourself in this way. It might feel wobbly at first because it's the first time that you're kind of putting that trust back into yourself for a long time, and that can always feel scary and intimidating and like, oh, what if this goes wrong, you know, kind of wobbly. But it does pay off, and it makes you feel like no one can fuck with you because you're that bitch. That's how it makes you feel, in a sense. Okay, is there anything else you need to know? Yes, about this next quarter. We have a speedy connection. That's what I was thinking. I think when you finally stop being responsible or thinking that you're responsible for other people's, you know, shit, and them putting expectations on you. It could be your family. I was getting a strong vibe of your family doing that. When you start thinking, what do I want to do? And focusing on yourself, but then also lurking in the background, it's almost like maybe you've neglected your love life, which may be something you're interested in. If you're not, ignore this, of course. But for some of you who are interested in having a connection, it's almost like the second you start prioritizing yourself and focusing on you, it allows you to see the world and have your eyes open and actually see what opportunities are around you for you rather than for other people. And it makes you open to the fact that there could be someone waiting around the corner for you. So there could be a connection, a romantic connection, happening for you in the next quarter if you want it, if you're open to it, and if you're able to kind of put yourself first and set those boundaries and be strong with the people in your life who are taking a lot from you, then this connection can manifest. So that's something as well that you needed to know about the next quarter. Let's see. I was going to ask how that's going to go. It's a wheel of fate. It's ups and downs. It's however it turns out. It can feel like a really lucky relationship, or it can feel like a shit one. It just depends on how things go, where the wind takes that wheel, what direction that wheel spins in. But I can see a lot of passion, a lot of sort of peace, calm, serenity, then lots of high energy. It's like a mixed bag, so it's a very interesting one. Ooh, and I'm definitely seeing peace for you as well. Rest and peace this month, because you're finally clearing your space and clearing your head of all the shit that was put on you, and you're having this lovely new perspective of realizing you come first, and that is so freeing, and it just gives you the peace that you need for this quarter. So that is what I see for you, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you were drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out now. And if not, I hope to see you here next week on Tuesdays and Thursdays for another reading or tarot related video on tea and tarot. Bye guys! Okay, hello my pile 3s, welcome to your reading. So you chose this little lavender bunny tail. So we're gonna pop that one up there. Actually, I'm gonna like lay the cards out and then I'll place it over top because they keep getting in my way. Okay, but you've got a lot of oracle cards, so let's get into those now. So you've got Grace is Great Gratitude Practice. Send out some appreciation for your sustenance today. Okay. Then we've got sort of being grateful for the basics. Then we've got laughter truly is the best medicine. Oh, I love that. Okay, I'm seeing the connection. Having a laugh is good for your immune system and boosts your mood. So it's basically being grateful for the little things, like the little things in the day that bring you joy. Then we have your channel. Okay. And then we have your heart chakra. I love that. Okay. Maybe lots of messages, like almost spiritual connection and sort of like divine messaging or universal messaging to your heart, to your desires, to what brings you joy, what makes you, love life. We also have no facts, never has the facts, makes shit up and lies. Dirt digging, looking for dirt on you or vice versa. Okay. The Acolyte, new projects and learning. The Warrior, perfectionism and burnout. Then we have the hidden, and we also have the moon. With a little bear down there. Interesting. The hidden and the moon is about the hidden, but we're getting a reveal. So a reveal of what's hidden. Okay. I wonder if you know who is dirt digging on you. Okay. So something is definitely going to get revealed that is currently in the dark. So it will get revealed to you, I think, in that quarter. But there's something you're not aware of. Maybe it's a new phase, because what I'm seeing with like the acolyte is maybe you start something new, like maybe it's a new job, maybe it's a new hobby or something, or a new class. And where there's newness, there's, you know, a new environment, a new atmosphere, there's also new people to interact with. And I wonder if your perfectionism, not that this is anything for you to fix, but I wonder if your perfectionism rubs someone the wrong way. Because what I've noticed is when people try and like pretend to be perfect or try and strive for perfection, it triggers the people who aren't doing that, because it almost feels like you're shining a light on the fact that they're not doing what they could be doing, or what they should be doing, or what they feel that they should be doing. On top of that, it can feel disingenuous, because if other people, even when it's not, because if other people don't strive for perfection and you do, it feels like, oh well, come on, who does that? No one does that, you know. And it almost, because they would never do something like that, it almost feels like you must be lying, because who in their right mind gives a shit about being perfect, kind of thing. But for you, that, you know, it does matter to you. That is something you strive for. You want to be perfect at something because you want that validation that you're good at it. You don't want to half-ass something and then not be very good at it. You want to accomplish it. You want to win. What they don't see beyond that perfection, though, is, of course, when you're in this learning phase and you don't have it all figured out, you do burn out. You do think, well, fuck it, like I'm doing shit wrong, what's the point? So you're already struggling without the need of this extra person just sort of being the worst person they could possibly be, which is lying about you, assuming about you, projecting their views about you, and then trying to back that up with facts that they can't find. Either. They can't find it. So it could be like, maybe at first you think you're on good terms with this person, or there's nothing, you know, wrong going on here, and that they're lovely and stuff. And then it gets revealed to you that this person is sort of rubbed the wrong way by you. So that could be one of the things that gets revealed to you. But there might be a lot more to this than that. That's a surface level interpretation before I pull the tarot cards. It could be something bigger, because with the hidden, it's like you're entering a new phase. It's almost like you've pulled back the veil on a secret or a lie or an illusion, and you can't unsee it. And so it becomes revealed to you. The truth will be revealed. And it's about a lie or illusion, a deception, a path, a phase. So it could be like you were heading in one direction, you thought this direction was, you know, the best path for you. And then it kind of gets flipped on its head where you realise, actually, this was a terrible path, let me go somewhere else. It's like that, like you're getting a revelation on something that wasn't wholeheartedly the truth, even if at one point in time you did believe it. It's almost like, I think with your channel, you may be getting spiritual or divine, otherworldly knowledge coming to you that reveals something to you about your heart's desires, about the reality or the environment you're in, and it makes it so that you can no longer deny the situation you're in and you have to take action. With this bear at the bottom, it makes me feel like it's like solo action. Like it's a revelation that kind of, in a sense, feels a little bit isolating, because it's hard to, if other people aren't there yet, if they haven't pulled back the veil and seen what you can see, it's hard to convince others of it being true. It's hard for people to believe other people at their face value, at the words that they're saying. So it feels like a little bit of a lonely path. Maybe that's why we've got warrior as well. Something I'm getting as well is almost like you are a prodigy, or like someone is doting on you, or someone's decided to take you under their wing in a sense and guide you because they see potential in you. And potentially this puts you in a position of like where people are jealous of you or envious because they wanted to be, you know, the prodigy. They wanted to be the one taken under the wing. And so it puts you in a position where you almost have to defend your place. But for you, you're unknowingly in this sort of like back and forth with someone. Like you think you're being you, and you know, there's no sort of issues, there's no beef. So you're just like kind of, in a sense, killing them with kindness because you're just doing you and trying to focus on the positive and laugh about things and have a good time. And it kind of rains on their parade whether you're aware of it or not, because you're not even aware that this is happening, if that makes sense. So it kind of rains on their parade because they're trying to prove there's something about you and they just can't, because you're all smiles and all like daisies and rainbows all the time. And they're like, God damn it, where is it? Like, they're trying to figure out how they can expose you, and they can't because there just isn't anything on you. So I love that. It's almost like you're leading with love, and that's really fucking up their chance at sabotaging you, whoever this person is around you. So let's look into this. I wonder who this person is, first of all. The King of Wands. It's someone potentially like higher up than you. To me, this person feels quite fake, and maybe this is why you're triggering them, because the King of Wands is a kind of fake it till you make it kind of character, and potentially it's a case of because you're being very authentic and they are not authentic, it triggers that awareness within them of something they're lacking. Whenever people are, you know, have a mirror shone back on them and they don't like what they see, they associate it with you, not the mirror. They associate it with you and not them. So it almost feels like because you're not fake, it triggers this person. So there's someone in the next quarter who is, you know, you get under their skin. I think this person is quite reactive, so be cautious. I think they like to take action on things. They like answers. They like getting to the point. Whereas I think what I'm seeing from you with the learner and with the new project and the perfectionism is that you like to have all the facts and you like details in order to make a decision or make a move. And so potentially there's a clash there where they just want answers from you and you want knowledge before you can answer. This person's quite, it might be someone you look up to because they are a king. So you're not even realizing you're in competition with this person, because why the fuck would they be in competition with you when you're at what I'm seeing with the acolyte is a beginner stage? You're at the learning stage. So you're like, why would you be in competition with a student when you're like the CEO? Do you see what I mean? Like you're quite shocked by this. So I think it's someone like higher up. It could be like if you start a new job or a new hobby, they're always praised in that class or something if you join a new class, and so it just seems so weird. But it's because they have a problem with you, but it's because they see you as a threat. That's why. Yeah, I think what you're getting clarity on with the hidden and the moon is a connection that you were, or a connection that you had a type of perception on in terms of your compatibility with this person, that actually a truth is revealed that you're not very compatible. Yes, you're definitely having fun. Okay, beef aside, drama aside, you are having fun in the next quarter. We were seeing that with the grace, like you've got this great energy, you just take things all in your stride, you focus on laughter and having fun. So we're definitely seeing that you are just enjoying yourself and paying no mind to this issue, because it's a non-issue for you. It doesn't pose any real threats or risks to you. Just because someone's bothered by you and they want dirt on you doesn't actually mean they have any power or hold over you. So you're just cracking on anyway. You're focusing on expanding your knowledge, your learnings in the next quarter, especially with Acolyte. There's a new skill that you are developing yourself in, which is going to be really fulfilling, really enjoyable. I think you're at some sort of beginner stage or the start of something, and you're ready to explore that new chapter. There's definitely lots of wonder around you. You're wondering the possibilities, the potential. You're getting ideas down. You're getting excited about what the future holds. Interesting, you might be, in entering this new quarter, leaving something behind in the past from the previous quarter. Alternatively, it could be a case of even if you do come blows to blows with this person, you're walking away just kind of being like, that was weird. Anyways, I'm unscathed, and being very graceful, taking what you have left and leaving that situation and leaving them in the mess that they are. And you're walking away into success and brighter futures. Yeah, there's like a sense of, don't worry, like you are protected on this and it will work out. Like, if you're not gonna like have anything negative before you because of this negativity chasing you from somebody else. You feel really fulfilled this quarter. I think you feel like things are aligned, things are working out in your favor. You might be in your dream job or your dream career, or you might be exploring your dream lifestyle and having lots of fun with friends and family, lots of celebration. So you're feeling really good this quarter. Like nothing can kind of get in your way. You're working hard as well on this thing that you're interested in, this new thing that you're starting. And it's going to be really fucking fruitful as well. It's going to work out really well for you. Maybe even financially, but it could be in anything, but I do think it's going to work out for you. You are loving this quarter. It's, you know, there's no sort of raining on your parade in the next 3 months. You are having fun and you're accomplishing a lot. I think it's because you're feeling like you're standing on top of the world. Like there's a goal of yours or a dream of yours that you've been chasing for a while. Everything is aligning in the next quarter to make sure that that's all coming to fruition. It could be like you've been working really hard on a dissertation or something and it pays off. It could be that you've been working hard for a promotion and you get it. It could be that you've been working hard to collect all the experience you need to go into your dream career, your dream field, and you're finally able to do that. It's like you're stepping into a massive accomplishment for you in the next quarter, a big accomplishment that's been on your radar for a while. And so because of that, even if there are things going on around you that are, you know, pissing you off, you're like, man, I don't care because I just won this award. Or you're like, I don't care because I just did this. Like, you feel accomplished, so you don't really give a shit. You're like, okay, and what? Speak to my trophy. Okay, don't speak to me. Yes, you've got the sun. There is lots of success around you in the next quarter. Oh my gosh, and the 6 of Wands. Okay. So you're just being celebrated left, right and centre. You're achieving, accomplishing. You're being praised. People are impressed by you. And I was getting that impression. If there is someone higher up than you who's intimidated by you, it could be that you're like the hot new stuff that's just, you know, come in and you are stealing all the limelight in a sense, and it might drive them crazy. So for example, like if you joined an art class and they every week reviewed like who did the best piece, and every single time the King of Wands was, you know, awarded the best artist, they're like, wow, the way you did that drawing is amazing, or the way you painted that skyline was beautiful. And every week they're like, oh, you know, it's nothing. And then you come in, you do a painting, bear in mind you're new, you're beginner, and they do the review and you're voted the best artwork. Your artwork's voted the best that week. And you're like, you know, me? And you feel accomplished because you've just waltzed in here, it's your first day, and boom, you've been praised for it. And then it rubs them the wrong way, kind of thing. So it's a case of you're getting a lot of limelight that someone else may feel entitled to, but it's yours. Celebrate it, grab it, hold it, it's yours, don't let it go, okay? And keep working towards what it is you want, keep finding new ways of getting to it and being really creative, and it will all work out for you. I think as well, this quarter makes you feel really inspired. It makes you feel like there are endless possibilities available to you, because especially when you just accomplish something, it's kind of like, wow, what could I do next? Like, the world's my oyster, like, because it feels like, you know, maybe before when you hadn't achieved it, it was like, God, that's going to take so long, it's going to be so difficult, I just want to achieve it. And then you finally get it and you're like, I did it, and it's kind of so exciting. And now you've got this free space in your life to put a new goal, and so it's almost like the possibilities are endless, and it opens you up to what could be next, you know. And then we've got the 10 of Cups here. So I wonder if what's next is starting your own family. Like maybe if that's something you're interested in, pursuing that, or getting that. Maybe that's what's waiting around the corner for you because of all of these accomplishments and things. It kind of allows you to be in a better position to be able to do that. But also, if that's not the case for you, it could just be a case of you getting your sort of big lifestyle goal that you want. Maybe that's having a house, maybe that's within your house having like some sort of cattery for your pets or something, or maybe it's getting a pet like a dog or something that felt like a big responsibility before that you had to prepare for, and now you're prepared. So it's like you're getting a big lifestyle accomplishment as well. So that is what I see for you, pile 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading today. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you were drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Tuesday or Thursday for another tarot reading or tarot related video on TìandTarot. Bye guys!